Love the intro. I can't tell you. Cannot lie. I do love the intro. Hey, you are listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Your host star, myself, Wole and Glen. The homies Ray and Mo are out. We also have Emmy Award-winning sports personality on and Holder Sports own Lou Holder. What is going on, Lou?
What's up, family? How y'all doing?
We good? Well, I don't know how good. I'm better now, Lou. I'm better now because that game on Sunday was traumatizing, bro. That game on Sunday was traumatizing.
Mama said there'd be days like that.
Right. She did. And
it was so before we talk about their next opponent, hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything. It is up on IG at ABG_Errrything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Errrything Facebook page. Hey, do not forget to subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel as well. Hit this red subscribe button. Also, like this video. I know my thumb looks a little jaded, but like this video. I'm trying to do a thumbs up. It's kind of difficult, but like this video. Anyway, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about the Commanders taking on one of their divisional rivals, the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, Lou, Sunday at 1 p.m., the Commanders take on the Eagles. They are the reigning NFC champions, obviously. They look okay. They don't look like they were last year, but they're still undefeated. After what happened last Sunday, what are your vibes for this Sunday's game for the Commanders?
Well, I feel that once you get into the division, anything can happen. I mean, if you do remember last year, on that Monday night game, they went up there and they, I guess, shocked the world or whatever. But I just feel that when division rivals get together, anything can happen. And the thing about this football season is you got to have a short memory. Especially if you're a halfway decent team. If you're the Chicago Bears, you can't have a short memory because that has been your world for the entire year. And if you're the Denver Broncos, wow. To get a 70-piece put up on you, that's something else. But the Buffalo Bills, before we move to the Eagles, the Buffalo Bills have been in the AFC Championship game in the last couple of years. I mean, that's a very, very good football team. And what you found out early on, or what this team has found out early on, this new team, because obviously some of the pieces are the same, but the person running the offense is different. There's different expectations. They're still learning one another. And that was one of those things where, you know what? They got taken out to the back of the woodshed and got whooped up. Yeah. But Benjamin St. Juste said something very interesting in the locker room afterwards. He said, we would rather it happen now to an opponent like Buffalo than week 16 or 17 when it really, really matters, So I just think that Sam Howell, we got to realize that his body of work is 4 games now, and this is the first one that he's lost, and he lost it badly. We're really gonna see what this team is made of, because it just was one of those things that, wow, everything just went wrong. Them not getting the field goal when they were down at the 2-yard line. I don't care where they were. You got to get points, right? You got to get points. And it just steamrolled, now being 10-0, and then things just cascaded from there. I didn't see the burst from any of the big 4 in the defense, from Sweat, from Payne, from Allen, from Chase. I didn't see any of it. So it's just one of those things that I think that all can be corrected. I do think that Sam Howell holds on to the ball a little bit too long, and that is maybe one of the reasons for a lot of the sacks. I mean, I know that offensive line is the Achilles heel, but some of those things are not the offensive line's doing. So I think that all of those things, when they say that they're going to have to look at tape, have a short memory, and get on the road and go up to one of the most hostile places in the NFL to play a football game, they're going to have to do just that. So I'm not counting out any team when it comes to divisional play, because I've seen it all too much. I've been covering this team for over 2 decades, and I've watched the NFL, and you've watched the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Things just don't make sense. And they're not supposed to go up there and win that football game, but they weren't supposed to last year either. And on Monday night, they won that football game. So it's going to be interesting. I know that you can't make mistakes. Benjamin St. Juste said something also in the locker room, said this isn't high school. If you make mistakes, you're going to pay. And Josh Allen and them made them pay dearly. And this defense is better than Buffalo's defense. Jalen Carter, my goodness.
Whew, that's a grown man.
Oh, that's a grown man. You know, and they're coming. They're coming. They're sound everywhere. And I just think that all that talent that Washington has needs to rise to the occasion early on. You can't get down 10-0 to that team in Philly, then it will be a wrap. You know. So I just have tempered expectations. I do think that they're not going to boo-boo on themselves, because I think Eric Bieniemy is going to figure some things out. And this defense is going to play better. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough. But I do feel that they do have a fighter's chance up there. They just can't turn the ball over.
Speaking of turnovers, you mentioned Sam Howell. He had 4 interceptions against the Buffalo Bills. Do you, in your heart, do you feel that he will play better against the Eagles compared to what we saw against Buffalo?
I hope so. That last interception was just trash. I mean, you try to. I mean, come on. Some of that. What was he thinking? Even if that was completed, that was a 2-yard completion. You know, so it's. I just feel that there's a bigger upside. You know, unlike with Dallas, you know, Dak is going to do what Dak is going to do, and Dak did what Dak does.
Exactly.
Versus Arizona. We don't know if Sam Howell's going to do this week after week. I don't think he will. I just think that he's so cerebral that he just kind of works things out. So if he is the person, and again, I told you that Jacoby Brissett is on this roster for a reason. I told you that in the offseason. I said Eric Bieniemy wanted Jacoby Brissett in here. So you can't get to the Chicago Bears Thursday night game and that stimulus package that the NFL has now given you in the Chicago Bears before you have to play the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll see a lot about how Sam Howell rebounds from a tough loss. He played poorly. He played really, really poorly. And one of those things you don't want it in your head, like a Zach Wilson up in the Jets or whatever. You want to make sure that, hey, look, this was just an isolated incident. I think he is going to play better, but I think it's all going to be how Eric Bieniemy puts him in positions, you know, to play better.
No, it's funny because I think he was in the presser, and he said that this is not him. He said what he did on Sunday isn't him. He's a different player than that. You know what I mean? So expect to see something different against the Eagles. I'm paraphrasing, but basically that's what he said.
Yeah, I think so though. I mean he is a different player than that, but you know, but he is also, this is only his 4th start, and I think that where it came into play. You saw the rookie mistakes. You saw the ill-advised throws, or you saw him hanging on to the ball late. And there were some guys open downfield. I think he's at the point now where he's pressing not to make a mistake. And when he's pressing too much.
Yeah, I will say this, though, in terms of to me, rookie quarterbacks make mistakes. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you're a rookie quarterback. In essence, he's a rookie. I'm like, when people start to go nuclear on social media about like the quarterback situations, it's funny because the first 2 weeks you loved him, and now you hate him and you're calling for somebody else. Don't get me started. That's a whole different. Social media, it kills all thought in life. But in terms of when you're looking at, if you look at a quarter, I put out names. Like I always tell folks, look at Peyton Manning, his rookie year, and what he was doing and how many interceptions he was throwing his rookie year. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's a different elk, right? Because of the draft status, but he was turning the ball over left and right. You have so many Jared Goff. My God, like people made fun of him on Hard Knocks. Like, this dude don't got it. This dude ain't a starting quarterback in the NFL. And look at him now. He's like one of the better quarterbacks, the top end quarterbacks in the NFL. So I'm looking, to me, like I want fans to kind of relax and chill out a little bit. Like, yes, had.
They won't do that though. They won't do that.
They won't.
Fan is short for fanatic,
Yeah.
and people like us three who sit there and look at this whole season long term will see that, hey, look, even if they do lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm not panicking because the Bears are right there as a place to go 3-2. And if you were to tell me through their first 5 games with a new owner, a rookie quarterback, and people figuring things out, that you would have the first 5 games at 3-2, I would sign up for that.
Yes,
I would sign up for that. I really would. I mean, I if you're expecting this team to go 17-0 or 18-0, then that is delusional. You're going to have games, and you're going to get punched in the mouth.
Yes.
Right. You're going to have those games, and you should expect to have those games because this is the NFL. They all have professional athletes on the other side. Case in point, Arizona beat the Dallas Cowboys. Right?
Exactly, Lou.
Right?
Exactly.
So, and we're looking at the Arizona Cardinals and look, Washington struggled with Arizona.
Yes, the Giants
Honestly,
did too.
They've struggled in every game this year because Denver on the road, they were down
18 points.
21
yeah, they were down 21-3. So this isn't going to be one of those things where you're going to be blowing out teams. They're not the Miami Dolphins. They're not the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they're not. They're not the San Francisco 49ers. Those are the creams of the crop in the NFL right now. And it's not the fact that they're winning. It's they're winning convincingly, in a convincing fashion, right? This team has got a long way to go before that has happened. But as I told you, they've already won. Dan Snyder not being in charge, that means that there's hope, and that means that you've won, right? So I was a little concerned, but then again, you're going to see this. I was a little concerned that there were a lot of Buffalo Bill fans in that stadium on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a while before we freeze this team freezes people out and they can't get in. But it's just growing pains, and I just feel that you got to be in it for the long haul. And I don't think that you should look at Sam Howell's trash or I will tell you what I am concerned about. Antonio Gibson fumbling the football is something that has been a problem, and I just hope that it's not in his head because
I think it is already.
They need him and B-Rob to be carrying that rock. I mean, I don't care what the league says about devaluing the running back position. This Washington Commanders offense, the running back is very, very important. It's very, very important. So we need, if anybody needs to get their head straight, it's not Sam Howell, it's Antonio Gibson for me. Because I think Sam Howell is going to find a way to get to the receivers and get to Cole Turner and a bunch of people. But Antonio Gibson fumbling the ball, we've talked about this before. That is a problem. You can't have that.
It's a serious problem. So we had a poll on Twitter. Do you expect Sam Howell to play better versus the Eagles? 89% said yes. 11% said no. But Glenn, I'm gonna let you tackle like the running situation. I know you're a running back guy, so I'm gonna let you tackle it. Go ahead.
I do, man. But
go ahead.
Antonio Gibson. We talk about his fumbling from week 1, right? In key situations, he fumbled week 1. At this point, the project of Antonio Gibson should be done. I think the project of converting Antonio Gibson from receiver to running back. This is what, year number 4, if not mistaken. Year 4. Year 3 or year 4, it should have been. At this point, if you can't hang on to the football, that's why you drafted Chris Rodriguez. That's why you have another running back on the team. Give the young guy an opportunity who did not fumble in college that much. I know we had one fumble in the preseason. And one fumble preseason, but most times he is shorthanded. You can't right now. Antonio Gibson can't be trusted. I know there's a picture of Antonio Gibson out on Twitter with the people helping him with hitting him with the bags and stuff like that. That's high school. Right? That's high school. Again, hang on to the football. You're professional. Tiki Barber had an issue with fumbling back in the day, right? And then they helped him.
He fixed it. And he fixed it quick, though.
He fixed it quick. It didn't take him this long to fix it. Antonio Gibson cannot afford to put the ball down on the ground again as a Washington Commander. If you go to years past, the times that he put the ball on the ground has been key times in this offense when they were trying to win football games, and some of the mistakes that he made. We talked about. I've been a big proponent of him staying in bounds when going out of bounds when it was time. He should have stayed in bounds as a running back for the clock to run. It's something like some of the running back knowledge he has. It seemed like it's not where it's supposed to be at this stage in the game for Antonio Gibson.
And if I can jump in right there, I mean, there's fumbling and there's fumbling. He wasn't going to the ground on that last fumble. He just got popped straight up.
Straight up.
Know? I mean, it's just like he's not holding on to the ball. He's doing spin moves in the pocket. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with him that the fumbles are bad. The first fumble in week 1 was bad. I mean, there's just bad fumbles, right? There's not these fumbles, Glenn, where you're calling the refs are calling to see if his knee was down and he got popped late. I mean, he's fumbling early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the problem. And that's the problem with Gibson is just that, like you mentioned, the fumbling against the Bills, that was a hit. That wasn't a strip. That wasn't no type of that. You just got hit. Like you hit and the ball just popped out.
But if you're a professional, if you're an NFL running back, you should expect to get hit.
I agree.
You gotta
totally
secure
agree.
that ball.
Yeah, I agree. That's what bothers me about him. It's to a point now where, and then I've tried. At first I was negative on Antonio Gibson, but then I was like, you know what? Let me try. Let me try to be positive on this kid because he does have potential in this offense. Like he does have potential in this offense, but you can't. It doesn't matter. I've heard people say, well, you shouldn't run him in between the tackles. It's to a point where it doesn't even matter. He's on the field. When he's on the field, the ball ain't safe. The ball ain't safe for you. All right, the ball ain't safe for you. All right, like when he's on the field.
If I can't trust you, I can't play you.
Yeah,
and right
exactly.
now he's a liability.
I'm with you. And I'm at the point now where people talk about, well, he has the quicks to do whatever in his offense. I'm like, hey man, you got Curtis Samuel can be your it can be could be that type of change, not back, but you know what I mean, the gadget play type of person. Because Gibson, you can run Christian Rodriguez, like Glenn said, you can run him because in college he averaged over 5-6 yards a carry in college. So the dude can run the football. And you saw it in preseason. And you got B-Rob, B-Rob is your ace in the whole, your number one back. B-Rob is a workhorse. That's the type of back he is. So you can run him and Christian Rodriguez. So truth be told, Gibson is putting himself in a situation where it's either trade deadline, folks going to be trying to shop you, or you are going to be highly on the bench and be a special teamer. All you're going to do is run. And I don't even know if you want him out there in kickoff returns, but again, because can you trust him with the ball?
Yeah, and I think with Eric Bieniemy, I think that what I'm seeing with a lot of within the NFL is positionless football. I mean, yeah, you have the traditional titles of running back, fullback, and whatever. But I mean, to me, it's all jump plays. I mean, you should just line people up and whether it's Curtis Samuels, whether it's. Look, I was a big Jared Patterson fan, right? Yeah. I was really upset that he didn't even make the roster because he never had fumbling problems, or at least not in that situation. And he fit that role of a power, a shifty back, a Sproles type of person, right? I mean, I know that Antonio Gibson has a lot of talent, but like you said, if talent is putting the ball on the carpet, it ain't going to help you. It ain't going to help you. And if you're not safe back there, how in the world are you going to go up to Philadelphia, right, and not feel safe with one of your people on the football field?
Agreed. I totally agree with you. Hey, Mo, what your thoughts, bro? Your audio's not working, Mo. Your audio can't hear you. Nah, I can hear you, bro. I can't hear you. Hey, Glenn. Okay.
I'll talk for him. He agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. I know that's right.
I'll talk for him. He agrees. Whatever that means, he agrees.
Exactly. But
whatever we're talking about, he agrees.
Exactly.
Anybody who's putting the football on the ground, he agrees that they're a liability.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it gets and that's the thing. But I do want to ask this question. Going into Philadelphia last year, we saw that the run game was a key for them to win that game on Monday night against the Eagles. They had the time. They won the time of possession. They ran the football well. B-Rob was crazy in that game in terms of imposing his will. You got this game in Philadelphia. It's a 1:00 game. Do you see Coach EB using that same type of game plan? Because he hasn't shown the ability to be like faithful to the run. Because again, I mean, I expect him to throw the ball because he's coming from the Andy Reid tree, and them dudes don't like throwing. They don't like running the ball like that. They like throwing the ball. So, do you see them knowing that what B-Rob had, what B-Rob did last week, having 10 yards, having 70 yards on 10 carries? Does he say, you know what, let me change up? I saw what happened last year. Do I just try to run the football against the Eagles on Sunday?
I mean, I think he's just going to try to figure things out. I do think that you're going to see Jahan Dotson more involved, and I hope. And
I hope so.
I hope so, because I mean, that's a Penn State boy. He's right there from that Philadelphia area. I know that Terry had a big play in that game last year up in Philadelphia. Yeah. So you got those two have got to be involved because there is the reverse of keeping them honest with the run. So you can throw the ball. You got to keep them honest with the pass so you can run the ball. I mean, it works both ways, right? And you got to take some shots down the field and test that secondary of Philadelphia. And they got two good receivers to do so. So I would not give up on the pass because that's going to set up your run. And that front is stout. You're not going to get. It's going to be hard to run. It's going to be hard to run consistently on the Philadelphia Eagles. They are still trying to figure things out offensively, and Jalen Hurts still doesn't feel comfortable. Whatever.
The new OC.
That defense is on. That defense is on point.
It is.
And they can cause some problems. So I think that EB, again, I feel that has been the biggest addition in the offseason is Eric Bieniemy, because if you could go up to Philadelphia and win with Scott Turner,
you can win with EB, bro. That's what I'm saying.
I will put I'm not a gambling man, but I will put currency in the middle of the table to say that EB is going to be able to figure this thing out, and I really, really do. So that is the exciting part about it, is that you will not see the same effort. You will not see the same result from week to week with Eric Bieniemy, because he will change things. Where Scott Turner, you want to talk about somebody you weren't confident in? If we're not confident in Antonio Gibson carrying the ball, I wasn't comfortable with Scott Turner calling a game.
You already know. If people listen to the show, they know how I feel about Scott Turner.
Yeah. So my title still remains clear throughout the year. Let EB be free. Right. I don't want Rivera. Rivera can't. I don't want anybody from the front office or anybody meddling with Eric Bieniemy and what he's trying to do on offense. Let him figure it out, because again, I feel that there's a competency that comes with Eric Bieniemy, but you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat. And the Buffalo Bills is not a bad team. I mean, they got beat.
Oh, that's Super Bowl contender team.
They got beat, and they're going to be a force to reckon with the entire year. So I just look at it that, again, if you're looking at segments of the season, first 5 games, first 10 games, if you're looking at the first 5 games, if you're 4-1 or 3-2, I'll sign up for that the first year of the new Commanders rebuild or whatever. I sign up for that. I would sign up for that.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, look at the schedule, like beginning, people said the first 2 games. I mean, granted, folks thought that Kyler Murray was going to play the first game, but a lot of people, and even the Denver game, a lot of folks thought had Washington losing to Denver anyway. They thought folks that Washington was going to start slow, period, knowing that the Eagles, and then they had, the Bills and the Eagles. So some folks had Washington winning arguably 1 game, like going 1-3 in that 4-game span anyway. So to your point, you would sign up to Washington going going 2-2 at this point in this quarterly point, 2-2 or 3-1, you would definitely sign up. So I agree with you there. I've been saying this on this show, and I want to get your opinion because I do think there's level. I don't doubt EB ain't the one I'm doubting. I'm like you. I have total faith in EB. I think he coaches to be number one in offense. Like I know some people don't like it, but he coaches to be number one in offense. Sometimes, yeah, your quarterback's gonna get hit. He holds the ball. You're doing it with a rookie quarterback, but he is coaching to be great. There's a difference with that. He's coaching to have a high octane offense, so he wants to be great. The defense is more talented, obviously, because they put more equity in the defense.
Mm-hmm.
My issue with the defense is I know people say, well, they played okay. Sam just turned the ball over, and he did play okay. In the grand scheme of things, they weren't horrible, right? 16 points in the fourth quarter to Buffalo. It's not horrible. But I will say this though, there is a level of, again, you have such a talented roster on the defensive side of football. No one's going to argue with that. I'm not going to argue with anybody with that. No. That's my opinion. But I think they coach them up just to be top 10 and not to be number one. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like top 10, like to a point where, yes, like when Stephon Diggs is running free and by himself, that tells me like, okay, like you're playing this cushion defense. When you watch defenses that want to be number one, someone's around Stephon Diggs. You may not stop Stephon Diggs because he's a tough cover, but someone's around Stephon Diggs. You're not letting Stephon Diggs, one of arguably their best offensive weapon, run free. But you know what I mean?
But sometimes,
so I'm not sure. To me, when I look at the defense, I'm like, yeah, you're solid, but you got a lot of talent. For the amount of talent you have, you should be aiming to be number one, not top 10. Your thoughts, Lou?
Well, I mean, they're not number one. I mean,
do they coach him up to be number one?
I don't think you can. They don't have the talent. I mean, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. You have the front four is legitimate, right?
Yes.
The linebackers are not. Like Jamin Davis is playing better, right?
Yes.
But if you put the linebackers up against the San Francisco 49ers or one of those defenses that whatever, they're okay. The corners, I mean Benjamin St-Juste and Emmanuel Forbes and Kendall Fuller, okay. I mean, the reason why everybody was scared about Dallas was that you had Gilmore on one side and you had Diggs on the other, Diggs on the other side at the beginning. Yeah. And those were two legitimate shutdown, corners, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's when you can start talking about being number one, right? I think they're exactly where they are, right? Mm-hmm. When the end of the year came around, the whole thing was they were going to turn that ball over. They were in the top 10 in every statistical category defensively except turnovers, right? Yeah. Through the first two games, they were turning that ball over. They turned Denver over. Mm-hmm. They had Arizona turning the ball over. That just Buffalo wasn't turning the ball over, and Washington was turning the ball over. Now, if your job is to get turnovers, you have got to make sure that Jalen Hurts turns that ball over. You got to, get Swift or whatever to turn that ball over. That is where it's still too early to even – I don't know if they're coaching them to be number one or not. I think they need to coach them to be just as good as they were last year in the top 10, right, and raise those turnovers. They got to turn that ball over. Now, I will say this. Football is a very group dynamic game, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If my offense is getting down to the 2 or 3 yard line and coming away with no points, me as a defensive player, they're not going to say anything, but I'm a little frustrated to put something up on the board, right?
Sure. That's very true.
That's in the whole press box. We were like, yo, take the points. And then they didn't. And now you're down 10-0, and then it's spiraled out of control against a good team. You got Josh Allen doing finger rolls in your end zone, and it just got crazy. But it's still the same thing. As good as that defense is, you can't keep them on the field for all that time, and then the offense is not responding. The offense has got to respond.
But
so I think it's cyclical. But again, I will agree with you this. Jack Del Rio's got to have his foot on the gas the entire year.
That's my thing.
He can't have multiple because again, instead of going offensive line, the first pick in the draft or whatever, they went defense the first 2 picks in the draft. You got Forbes and you got Quan Martin, right? Yeah. So that basically was the front office and Ron Rivera saying, okay, Jack, here is everything that you need to give us the field position that we need that Eric Bieniemy can start working with. I did not see that against Buffalo. I'm going to hold that as an isolated incident. But if I'm on your show again after the Philadelphia Eagles game and it's the same stuff again, then, I mean, that was a lot of investment to put into Forbes and Quan Martin before you went offensive line or whatever like that, or to move around to get more help to secure, because Sam Howell is still running for his life at times during the football game. You made that decision to make that defense better. And again, better doesn't always have to be number one. Better just has to be what they showed on Sunday.
But a lot of the issue was this, and then you get the defense, and you got the front four. You had put Buffalo Bills in a situation 15 times on third down.
And long.
Third and long, right? And you couldn't get off the field. 15 times Buffalo was in 15 times Buffalo had 15 third downs, and 9 out of the 15 they was able to convert, right? So that's on the defense. That's not on Jack Del Rio. That is on the guys up front, because if you look at go back to some of the early on long third downs, the pass rushes were wide. No one was there to contain Josh Allen underneath. We talked about it on a pregame show that Josh Allen couldn't get running lanes. The defensive line created running lanes. There was no linebacker there to fill, right? No spy there to fill it. So therefore, then he was able to still run and go downfield and hit Stephon Diggs on third and long several times. They're able to convert first downs when he had 2 defenders on him. So again, when you look at those situations, those things, it becomes a part of not coaching. It's a part of want to, right? It's a point of you playing sound defense and being able to have gap responsibilities and doing your assignment, doing your 111, as we like to call it. And sometimes on Sunday, people did not do their 111. And when you play good football teams and you don't do your 111, they expose that. And the team defense got exposed on Sunday because they didn't do their 111. And you also have a rookie cornerback, not giving him an excuse, but you got a rookie quarterback who's on Stephon Diggs. I think that was one of my things on the on the pre-show, talking about we couldn't leave Forbes on Diggs for so long.
One-on-one shouldn't be.
One-on-one, he shouldn't be. So they capitalized on the mistakes. I think this defense can be, to answer your question, I think this defense can be top 5, but this defense in big games have to continue to play together.
I'm gonna give you an example. Only reason why I say this, because I think everybody has eyes and you see it. Like, you see a certain type of umph. It may not even be top 5, but it's a certain type of umph. We just talked about the team anyway, about them beating the Cowboys. If you watch Arizona, right?
They
don't have any talent. They don't have the talent that Washington has, not at all. But they do play with a certain type of umph. Like Grant, they're not going to hold up for long because, again, there's not been so much talent. But they're playing with energy. Eventually, talent wears out. You know what I mean? So, like, you watch it, even against Washington, you saw it against Washington. They were dirty, right? Folks said they were dirty, but they were playing with a certain type of energy.
Yeah.
Like, they play with that energy. Like, the will is there. The talent isn't there, but the will is there. You see it. You saw it with the Giants the first half. You saw it because the will is there. You saw it with the Giants when they played the Giants. You saw it with the Cowboys because they wanted that game bad. Like, they wanted that game bad. You saw it. So I just feel like sometimes when you watch Washington defense, right, we get enamored with everything, but they don't fly to the football as much. Like, they don't fly like certain teams. I feel like that is missing. Like, again, it's the will. Like, I'm not saying you got to be number one. I'm not saying you got to be the best defense in the NFL. But if you have the will to be number one, you put yourself in that box, right? Like that top 5. It's the will. And sometimes when I watch Washington, because I didn't like what I saw, even Arizona, I didn't like what I saw against Arizona when Washington played Arizona. I felt like, dude, Hobbs has only been here for Dobbs has only been there with his teammate for like a week. His teammates for like a week. I don't want them moving the football at all. Because he doesn't have any chemistry with these dudes. I'm seeing Connor getting yardage and y'all missing tackles. That's not a good defense, one of the best defenses. You're putting that man on the ground early. Who are you worried about? the quarterback is limited. You should be focusing on the running game. The Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson had like 3 touchdown passes. Like he had 3 touchdown passes or had like over 150 yards on like 4 passes, period. Like Russ ain't supposed to be cooking like this. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. He needs to be cooking like this. I'm just saying, like, the energy, the intensity has to match the talent that we see. That's all I'm saying. When I watch this defense, I'm like, all right, you guys are really good on like the front 4. You guys are good talent. You got Kendall Fuller's playing good football as a corner right now. You got Forbes who has talent. St. Juice, but you got good safety play. This team has good safety play with Defoe and Curl. You should be better. Like you should be better than what you are in terms of showing in terms of presenting your will.
You gotta have a quick start. And this team has not had a quick start in 3 games. This defense has not had a quick start in 3 games. And in this past game, you were so deep in a hole that didn't make a difference. And the other 2 games you were close, so that excitement was there. This team has yet to start fast on defense. And I think starting fast on defense contributes to everything else that they're trying to do.
They do start slow though. They do start slow. But I'm just tough on this. I'm just tough on the players. It's just like because I coach basketball. So anytime I see like talent on a certain level, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're good. You're good, but you can be better. Like you can be better. You know what I mean? But I'm with you, Ludo. Like I think linebacker play does hinder it a lot. I do. I think it hinders it a lot. But that was a choice of Rivera to get Cody Barton. Like that was his choice. Like there are better players out there. What's your thoughts about Cody Barton? I'm interested.
I mean, it's good. I think the whole thing is this team is going to need time to gel.
Got you. Okay.
They really are. They're just going to need time to gel.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel that Defoe, Cam Curl, St. Juice, Juan, all of them are just going to need time to gel. And I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. I do hear what you're saying about. I do hear what you're saying about that energy. There's just no Ray Lewis. Yeah, there's no Mike Singletary.
You got it.
There's no. I don't know. There's not that person who is just an absolute.
Got you.
Full. Like there's no one like that on the defense. They're all good players, but there's no one who is the leader like what you're looking for, because Ray, like him or not, he was the heart and soul of that defense. True, right? Him and Ed Reed were the heart and souls of that defense, right? Here, everybody's kind of.
You mean Chase ain't the guy?
No.
Yeah, prove it first though. I like Chase. I like Chase, but you gotta.
There's no one that. Again, you had guys that went to the Pro Bowl. Allen and Payne went to the Pro Bowl and everything like that. I'm not saying that they're not great players.
I know you're saying. I know exactly.
Right, but what you're getting at is that person who just wills them to the next level.
Yes.
Right. And hopefully that person emerges. I don't know who it is, but right now I don't see, and maybe that was the statement game.
Maybe, yeah.
That will cause somebody to step up and say, I mean, Allen is the captain.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, he's not Reggie White. Reggie White was also captain, but Reggie White just willed the Eagles and the Packers. Defense. But again, it's hard to find that. It's hard to find that on any team.
True, very true.
Right? I mean, those players don't come around a lot, right? So when it's a leadership by committee, and there's a bunch of people that you're expecting to be that focal point, right? It's just going to take some time. I think that they'll find their way. I really, really do, because on Dallas, it's Parsons. There is that one person who makes that motor run. I mean, there are those teams, there are those players that step up, and I think that's what's missing. There's no person that is just like, wow, that defense goes as so and so goes.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
We've the whole show we've been talking about units of people, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about the front four. We've talking about the secondary, right?
True.
But there's not been that person on defense. You'd be like, as that person goes, so does this entire defense.
Good
right?
Point. Very good point.
And I just feel that, you know, we've watched football enough to know if you've gone back to some memorable teams, right?
There's always that one.
There's the, you know, offense wins games, but defense wins championships, right?
Yes.
It was the Legion of Boom, but there was certain people in that boom that you were like, you know what? As that person goes, so does the boom.
Cam Chancellor.
Chancellor.
Exactly.
He's the one.
Back in the day, you know, even when that defense had so many people, was as Sean Taylor went, so did that whole defense goes.
Correct.
Right.
That is correct.
Back in the day, you know, when Brian Dawkins was playing, when Brian Dawkins went, that was the motor for that Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
They had Troy Vincent, they had Bobby Taylor, they had a bunch of people. But as Brian Dawkins went, right now, mind you, a lot of these people that I'm mentioning, they either were going to have gold jackets or going to get gold jackets or what have you, right? Do we think that anybody on the defense right now for the Washington Commanders is in line to get a gold jacket? We don't know, right? So again, what I'm saying is people are figuring things out. There are no that person that is just confined. Troy Polamalu with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can go back and forth with any team that was significant on defense. There was that one person, whether it was a linebacker, a safety, or somebody up the middle that said, "Hey, look, as this person
Aaron
goes,
Donald,
the defense, right?
Yeah.
With the Chiefs, Jones,
yeah, you saw the difference.
Yeah, and look what, you know, once he came back, boom, everything solidified, right?
Yeah, you got Nick Bosa.
So I mean, it's a proven, it's a proven, you know, scenario or proven ingredients that you got to have that one person who just stands out as just like the alpha male, the alpha dog, that's not going to let certain things, as you just said, happen. Yeah. And right now, I think they're still trying to figure out who that person is. And that could be transformative. Who knows?
I think that'd be great if somebody steps up to do it, because I just want to see it. I just want to see it. I see it. Because I see it. Like, I see the talent, man. I look at it, I'm like, you can be better than this. Like, you can be better. You're good.
We see glimpses.
You could be better.
You see glimpses. You saw Daron Payne have a glimpse. You know.
Against Denver.
Against Denver. Then you'll see Jonathan Allen have a glimpse, and you'll see Montez Sweat have a glimpse. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't seen that person actually. They take over a series or take over a couple of downs.
Right. That's the word. Take over.
And it's not take over a game.
Take over a game on a consistent basis.
Consistent basis, right?
On a consistent basis, because if somebody's taking over a game on a consistent basis, then that's how you get the rally going. You know, and I just feel that's what's missing right now. And again, the good thing is that I think that there's one of those people that we've been talking about for the last 40 minutes will step up at some point and be like, hey, look, I'm going to take this on my shoulders and we're going to do it this way. Because like you said, there's too much combined talent on that defense, invested talent on that defense for them not to play at a consistently high level for a whole game and for a whole season. Right?
I agree.
So, that is without a major injury so far. Everybody's healthy.
Yes, that's right.
The only big ding was, God bless him, you know, the tight end going over the middle and holding on to that ball. Logan Thomas. But everybody else seems to be fairly healthy and not in protocols and things of that nature. So the only thing hurting right now is your ego from getting beat up by the Buffalo Bills and their fan base that came into FedEx, you know, on homecoming weekend when all the legends are in the house.
Why they keep doing that? Why they keep doing the homecoming with a tough team? Why they keep doing that?
I just love
to a sold out stadium with Bills fans.
Right. I just love when we get. I as much as I love playing. As much as I love seeing the other teams, there's just nothing like the NFC East. And just bad or as much drama. It's the best reality show on TV.
Oh, it is.
You know,
oh, it is.
It is.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's amazing. A whole lot of you. It's amazing.
It's just great. But I mean, it's right now. Right now, it is really the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers that are just like, if y'all don't want us to just run this thing back like we did last playoffs, then somebody else got to step up, right? They're basically, through the first 3 weeks, they're basically saying, oh, so y'all want us to just run this back? Should we play the rest of the season? Right?
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to come in and jam up that scenario and jam up that narrative because that's where it's headed right now if somebody doesn't step up. And Washington's poised to do that, not just because of the talent, is because of the offensive coordinator that is now there, right? Sure. I have total faith in Eric Bieniemy. For some reason, I feel that he is just going to be the X factor. He could be that person that, you know what, we're going to ride Eric Bieniemy, right? Yeah. But you do need somebody on defense and somebody who's actually in between the lines that is actually making plays and turning balls over and not allowing the rest of the team, not allowing the rest of the defense to even get down like that.
Yeah, right? I agree. I totally agree. So Lou, give me your prediction, your score prediction.
I don't do predictions.
You don't give predictions? All right. So I'll say. Let me tailor it this way then. No prediction. Then. What do you want to see from this team on Sunday? What do you want to see? Not wins or losses. What do you want to see? Like, what do you want to see?
I want to see. I want to see competency and holding on to the football.
Okay.
I don't want to see any turnovers.
Okay.
If you don't turn I will predict this. Mm-hmm. If they do not turn the ball over, they'll be in that game.
Okay.
But if you see more than one turnover, it's a wrap.
Got you.
It's a wrap for me because that fan base and that place is going to be nuts. I'll be up there. I've been up there every year, and that is one place you do not want to get behind. I just feel that
at least
holding on to the football, right, and sustained drives, they're gonna be in it. They're gonna be in it. So that is my prediction. You gotta be clean on that football. You gotta be clean on that football. Right, and I'm not saying anything that's like breaking news.
No. But you're right though. I get you.
It's just the simple things about football is that you don't give teams other opportunities. Yeah. We have the best punter in the league.
Yes. Yep.
He can turn the field all by himself. Him and Jeremy Reeves can turn the football field over and special teams all by themselves. I ain't worried about that. Mm-hmm. Sly, I don't know on the road, but the punter I have no problem with, right?
Right.
And the thing is, a lot of those guys were on the field last year when they beat Philadelphia, so it's not like a inferiority complex. Like, well, we can't beat these guys. Yes, you can. You did it last year.
Yeah,
right. It was the only loss that Jalen Hurts has had in the regular season. Right.
Yeah.
So. It wasn't like 4 or 5 years ago. It was less than 12 months ago.
Less than 12 months ago.
Yeah.
So there should be no I'm scared or whatever. They'll never say that, but there shouldn't even be anything. You should be taking it to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Hey,
But Antonio Gibson fumbling the ball, anybody fumbling the ball, man, that's going to be a recipe for a long, long afternoon, and it will end up on the losing end for Washington.
So, Glenn, I'm at the same question to you, my man. What do you want to see from the Commanders Sunday?
Better play from the offensive line. I don't need to see 7-8 sacks. I don't need to see 9 sacks. You don't need your young quarterback to be hit that many times. And we only in week 4, right? He's been hit. We only in week 4. He's been hit that many times. Go back to what Lou said. That's why Jacoby Brissett is the backup quarterback. Because if Sam Howell continues to take that type of beating, 7, 8, 9 sacks per game, he will not last this season. So I need to see that number go down tremendously.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So for me, it's going to be simple. I need you to compete. I just need intensity. I need that same energy you had Monday night last year. I need that same energy because if you have that energy, you'll be in the game. Like because that energy is something different. That's a desire. That's a want. That's desperateness. Like you need it. If you want it and you play them like you need it and you want it, you're going to be fine. You'll compete. Like if you compete and you like you said, Lou, you're not scared. You're not scared. You go in there not scared and feeling like you're confident enough to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, you'll be in the game. You know what I mean? I felt like the Buffalo game was a little different. I felt like they got to a certain point with the interception. You could see the soul jump out the body a little bit. Like you could see a little bit the soul just jump out a little bit. But against the Eagles, I do think that being in a division game, being that you said, like you said, Lou, you did this not too long ago, to be honest with you. You play with some energy, you play with that hunger, that desire, you'll be in the game. But I need to see that. See that. If I see that early, I'm gonna feel good about what's gonna happen, what can happen in the fourth quarter. But it's all, but again, that's I have faith in Jack. I have faith in Ron, and I have faith in EB. I definitely have faith in EB. Like I'm like you, Lou. I have total faith in EB. EB can do no wrong to me.
Yeah, the other two you mentioned, I'm still on the fence.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like this is one thing I will say when adversity hits with Ron. This is one thing I will give him credit because I haven't been like Ron kind of rubs me with the wrong way at times. But I'll say this: when adversity hits, he finds a way to get his whole team to rally together, and go against that situation, that obstacle. I don't like it's just something about it. Just like that, we always talk about the second half, how he just turns up in the second half. It's the same thing. Like what happened in Buffalo against Buffalo? Everybody, you hear all the noise now from the outside. Oh, they're not that good. They just played two easy teams in Denver and Arizona. They got blown out against Buffalo. You know the Eagles gonna blow them out. So now, like that is out there. Ron knows how to he knows how to take all of that and have a rally cry. And then all of a sudden they play better. Not to say it's gonna be a W, but they play better. So I do have faith that Ron does that. You know what I mean? I do think Ron slips up at times, but I do with stuff like that though. Ron is good with. He's good with that type of situation. You know what I mean? So we will see. Hey, Lou, before we let you go, we're about to close the show. Is there anything you want to throw? You want to plug anything? You want to tell folks how they can catch you on social media, how they can check out your content?
Yeah, just Holder Sports and then the Holder Hangout on YouTube. Just trying to put some good stuff up there, and it's this whole thing is just a work in progress. Just trying to get good content out there because there's a lot of stuff out there that's just trash. So I try to.
Lou is not lying. Lou is telling the truth.
I try to speak when it's meaningful. And not put out stuff just to, what did the Oregon coach say? Can I say something about Deion for a second?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
So I just love what's going on in Colorado.
Me too. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Not just because Deion is brash and whatever. I mean, the whole thing that the coach said. That coach wanted clicks too. Right?
Yeah, I know.
That's why he said it.
That's why I said it.
You can't go for the banana in the tailpipe. Deion Sanders is to college football what Tiger Woods was for the PGA Tour.
I like that. I like that.
The whole tide is being. I mean, people are watching football now.
Yes.
On Saturday, just as much as they're watching Sunday. What is Deion doing? Right? Just taking all of these kids that were from HBCUs or whatever, and what he's doing now is empowering Black men, right? And he is elevating a sport, right? And I just love what's going on. That people are talking for 1 year. We're not talking about how many of Nick Saban's assistants are going to beat him this year or whatever. We're not talking about that. We are actually talking about, right? Can Shedeur Sanders win the Heisman Trophy, right? Yeah. Will they? I mean, they're going to lose games, right? Yeah. But I just love the fact. And I love the fact that they got beat badly, right? Look, Travis Hunter didn't play.
He didn't play. Yeah,
right? He didn't play. So it's kind of like there's an asterisk. Like, how would that game have actually been?
They would have lost. They still would have lost. But yeah,
right. But their best player was not on the field.
No, it's true though. I've said that too. I've added that. I was like, I wish that he played. I don't think they would have. I said initially, I don't think they don't beat Oregon and USC because they don't have the bodies. Yeah. They don't have the big dudes up front to beat them. But I will say this though, I do want to see Hunter against them because I think that people forget. Like I think, like for instance, Colorado scores. They definitely score more if Hunter's out there because Oregon has nobody who can check Hunter. I'm serious. Like have nobody to check Hunter.
I want to read something to you. I want to read something to you real quick. This is from former Colorado athlete Trayvon Hamlet. He said, this is his quote, "There's so much blackness that's involved in this. And it's the biggest story in the country. I feel like it's our turn. It's so nice to see a black man doing what he's doing. Our culture does not have to be modified to be great."
So true. So true.
I mean, that's the best quote I've seen.
It's the best quote. It's true,
I mean, it doesn't, we don't, the Black excellence doesn't have to be modified to be great. Deion is just being unapologetically him, and people don't like it.
Yeah, and know what I love about it though?
He's bringing money to Boulder, Colorado. He's bringing money to NCAA.
Oh my goodness, he's bringing money to the whole NCAA because people are watching whoever he's playing. If you are on Colorado's schedule, you are in for a lot of eyes on you.
You happy?
You're getting a payday.
You happy? You happy? And what's so awesome about Deion? It's crazy because even for Colorado State game, Oregon game was like it's a big game, but the Colorado State, you got people on the East Coast that stayed up to 3 o'clock in the morning watching that whole game. I'm one of them. That's what I'm saying. Like think about that. I don't watch Pac-12. I don't watch Pac-12 games. I'm staying up to. When I see a Pac-12 game at 10 o'clock,
I won't be watching
Pac-12. Exactly.
Actually, the whole conference is going to fold in a couple of minutes.
Right. So it may not be Pac-12 anyway when so.
Right, but I'm saying anywhere he goes, he moves the needle. I think we should be grateful because, again, it was like when Tiger Woods was just beating up on people, they tried to lengthen the golf courses. They tried to do all kind of stuff like that because he was just so dominant, right? Now the people don't like that he has the Deion doesn't have the turnover chair and the glasses and the glasses. Whatever he's doing. They just trying to, but it's just great. It's great that he's the one person who it's perfect for because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right?
It's perfect. It's amazing.
And it's just like keep it coming because when you talk about Deion, you're talking about Colorado and then you're talking about the team. And whether it's for clicks or wins, Oregon wanted to prove everybody that they're wrong. But guess what? You wanted the clicks to go along with it.
Yeah, you wanted it. You want the attention.
He's a hypocrite.
Big time. He's
a hypocrite. And he the only thing different from him is that he didn't do it during the week. He did it right before the game. So by the time the game was going on, now you're going to hear what he said.
Yeah,
but Deion keeps all the receipts, whether you bought it a week ago or 5 minutes ago. He's keeping all the receipts.
Yeah,
and people are mad. He was mad that his team, who's ranked higher in Colorado, didn't get the hype. And that they're talking about the underdog more so than the team that's ranked higher. And that's what the biggest is. The biggest thing is
good for you. You beat a team that you were supposed to beat.
Good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what kills. And what kills me is like, all right, so you're talking about receipts. And this is the funny thing about it. I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, there's no way this don't matter because Deion was supposed to lose to Oregon. I'm gonna tell you this is what it is. Deion saw he's seen that clip they played with the coach talking trash to his players about Colorado. Deion, look, next year keep that same energy because next year Deion he's gonna get a whole bunch of recruits.
Yep,
they are 5-star because Deion is now he's going to these homes and he's gonna get your favorite player. He's gonna get your favorite player. Now he's gonna be on the same level field of your program. Keep that same energy about they going for Hollywood. I want you to say the same thing because Deion gonna match up. Now he's gonna match up.
He did say get him now.
Huh? Get him now. He's right because he's smart. Deion know Deion got it. He got it's on the cell phone. It's on the notes. You said this. Okay. You know what? Next season, I'm gonna get your favorite recruit.
He's gonna be in that episode of Martin when he goes to that reunion.
Exactly. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
And he sees Ricky Fontaine.
Yep.
Pretty Ricky's what they call him.
Pretty Ricky's what they call him. Yes.
And he's checking off people on the book.
I'm telling you.
That's gonna be Deion.
The people who mouthing off and feeling good about themselves, USC, I'm bet USC dude gonna be quiet. He ain't gonna say nothing. But I knew that Oregon dude. He is going to pay next year. You hear me now.
It's just fun. I mean, people we're talking about not just watching football all day on Sunday. You're watching like, when is Colorado playing on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's just a great, and usually it's like you have your Big Ten matchups, and later on in the year, like every week now,
SEC.
It's like who's Dion playing and where is he playing now?
Yep.
Right. And I think that's just great for the sport. A rising tide lifts all the ships.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everybody's getting broke off. Everybody. So
look who we got coming to games, man. Look who he has coming to games.
Because he understands entertainment and sports are mixed together.
Crazy. Yeah.
All those the only people Oregon had come to the game is Phil Knight.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The only celebrity that they could have that was hugging Dion or doing whatever before the game was Phil Knight, the owner of Nike. That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. Dion is bringing. It's like the Arsenio Hall show.
And he loved Dion more. He loved the coach anyway. He loved Dion more anyway.
I just feel that it's fun, and it's great for sports.
Mm-hmm.
Dion can't do enough promotions. He can't do enough media, because at the end of the day, if it was on the other foot and one of these other coaches could do it,
oh my God, they would do it. They would do it.
They would do it. Nick Saban has been doing it.
Yes. Steve Spurrier used to do it when he was younger. When I was young, Steve Spurrier used to do it. So that's what bothers me, though. It's like people have done this in the past. People have done it.
Barry Switzer did it.
Yeah, Barry Switzer did it too. Jimmy Johnson did it. Jimmy Johnson did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All these people have done it. All these people have done it.
They mad Dion doing it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Joe Paterno did it.
Sure did. Sure did.
Tom Osborne did it.
Yeah.
In Nebraska. I mean, it's been done so many times.
I'm a Michigan fan. Jim Harbaugh does it.
Bo Schembechler did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because it's Dion, now it's a problem.
It's a problem. So, it's crazy.
Again, it's just fun to talk about it, and I'm just so glad that his sons are there. That's the best part about it. Not only is he coaching this team, his sons are on the team. One of his sons is doing all the media. The kids are at the school. I mean, as a father, right, to do it with your sons there. I mean, you can't get much better than that. There's so many great storylines that are getting lost in what this man is doing, and he's doing it. His toes are amputated because of this, and he's fighting a lot of stuff. But his swagger has never left, and I just love it. I love it.
Oh, Dion he's amazing. He's amazing. Yeah, they're just jealous. That's all. It's jealousy. That's all it is.
Now that is what you call Burgundy and Gold Errrything.
You know it, everything. We didn't cover everything. We did everything. Hey, Lou, thanks for being on. Before we end this show, do not forget to subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything, and hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything. And like our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Errrything YouTube channel as well. This has been an amazing show. Thank you, Lou, for being on. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces. Peace.